of the problem.
Boom. Just like that. Either contribute or be a part of the problem. Yes, because every choice, and when we don't make a choice, we're making a choice. And either we are contributing or we are not, but it's a choice that we're making. So, Sandra, that's very powerful what you are sharing. Let me talk to you about, you went into this mystical path. You've never left. I have an experience. I have experienced your energy field, and it feels mystic. It's really you are like the embodiment of that mystic, beautiful archetype. But you are also a leadership mentor with a PhD. I have to ask you this in motivation and burnout. I want to know what is your viewpoint as a mystic and as as someone that has PhDs and has trained herself in so many modalities. Tell us about burnout. Why do you teach it, and why is it important to know more about this?
Well, funny thing is that I started my PhD studies I studied for 9 years. And I was also wondering, like, why do I need it? Why do I need it? What's the point? I don't want to pursue academic career. Why do I need a PhD? And by the time I was finishing, I was pretty much now for several years in entrepreneurial journey. So I was like, why do I need PhD? But it kept coming back. It kept coming back. And I literally see it as like a bunch of synchronicities, a bunch of really being guided from the above. Because when the pandemic started, I realized, oh, this is why I need it. This is why we need to talk globally about motivation and psychological immunity, not just the vitamins, but psychological immunity and the burnout that was literally, again, in my visions, portrayed in 2020 as the pandemics. So I teach it because I feel that it's spreading like wildfire, and that it's very easy to get the symptoms, and it's very easy to go through the stages of it, so that there's it's very cunning. I see it as like very cunning, so that it's not on our radar until we have severe burnout. So we need to be
Wow.
mindful of that, and like to talk about the prevention and treatment and recognizing before it gets really bad. Of course, everything is manageable, everything can be healed. It's just we don't need to get to that stage.
I love that. Absolutely. I'm in agreement with you. And I just love that you said we need psychological immunity. Could you expand in that term a little bit more, please?
Yes, so just like physiological body immunity, we have psychological immunity that needs a boost. So it's relaxing, doing something creative, really allowing yourself to have some time to be quiet, to reflect. And you can literally find academic papers and researches about psychological immunity. At the time I did researches in 2015, it was burnout was most prominent in medical workers and teachers. So it was 5 years before all of this. Now I can't imagine what the papers would show. So it's not only now for those two professions, but really it's a big theme for a lot of people. And focus on it in my work for another reason as well, and that is, even if you do something you really love, it does not mean that you are that you shouldn't be mindful of the burnout, because psychological immunity means that we are well nourished, that we are rested and taken care of by ourselves first and foremost. So it's not about just working in some like soul sucking job. It's in every job, because of the a number of information we get. It's because of the media, the expectations, the different roles we have in our life. So it's really important to honor this aspect, to be wise about it, just like with the physical health.
Absolutely. But I think it's important, Sandra, because we always talk about immunity, right? Like boost your immunity. And we immediately think vitamin C, turmeric, all that stuff, vitamin D. We think it's only about the physical form. And, but spiritual, emotional, mental, psychological, even psychic immunity is as important. We're such a multidimensional being. So I love that you treat the being in a holistic manner. So my next question for you is, tell me a little bit about this. You specialize in burnout. You help people, well, get out of there, right? Like more get out of the burnout and into the path of their own mysticism and alignment, and be not balanced but organized. But tell me a little bit about when you work with CEOs, coaches, and mentors. How do you, once you help them with the burnout and everything, how do you introduce to them the topics of mastery, grace, and sovereignty? How can they take it into their business? How do they use it in a way that it helps them not only with their sales and their business, but with everything that they are? And why is it important?
I feel it as the path of fulfillment. So no matter what you do, and I focus on primarily some kind of like bold people with visions that are creative, that really have something that feels big as a mission. So we work on allowing them to be fully in touch with themselves. So that's why I said I'm not a business mentor, I'm a legacy doula, because I literally help them birth and have in their hands like strong embodiment of their inner wisdom, of their power, so that in sovereignty we talk about boundaries and also what is authentic to themselves. In the path of spirituality and mysticism, we talk about and work on their direct connection with the divine. And as for the mastery, it is allowing themselves that through all like good periods, shadow work, whatever comes up, it's the path that where you are forged, where you are purged, where you are sculpted in the most beautiful way, so that they don't get the half-heartedness flu, because it's really important that we don't question how long will this take, because it's a, I feel mastery as a life journey. It's not.
What you're saying is so powerful, Sandra. And that's something I like of you. And I wanted to share it with you is that I have met many people since I come from what is considered a third world country, right? Mexico. And a lot of people believe that. And you come from a place that there has been a lot of wars, and the victimization mentality is huge. Even, I don't know if you've noticed, even in those who are in leadership or great teachers, spiritual teachers, the victimization still finds its way through, like, oh, poor people, we are the countries of war. And you don't have that. And I've known a lot of people from Mexico, from Yugoslavia, from Serbia, from Russia, from everywhere. You don't have that. So I think that all the work you do with people has helped you. Will you say that it has supported you? What do you have to say about what you are sharing right now of your work? Of this, it's a path of the mystic, but it's a mystic that is so well grounded. How has it served you to not exit just the victim mentality, but rise above it and be able to help people to be in alignment with their power instead of the victim persona?
I am very stubborn. That's my
Oh, I
secret.
love you. I love you. Can we say it in the podcast? Yeah, I love you. I love that you are stubborn. That's why I think you and I match.
My mom would used to say, like, when she is after something, she won't stop. I even got a sister that way. So I'm like, I will beg and pray and knock, and if it needs, I can't move mountain. My faith is not that strong, but I will dig a tunnel.
So, but what is the most important of all the work that you've done? What has helped you the most to stay outside of the victim mentality?
I would really say it's faith. It's
Oh, yes, there we go. There we go. Let's talk about faith a little bit because you and I are connected through faith, right? We're connected through that infinite force that, yes, things may be challenging. And that's how you are helping a lot of people. And what is the role that faith has in all the work you do that helps so many people, entrepreneurs, creatives, et cetera, to move to their next level? What is the role of faith in your work?
it is like a foundation that has the shape of pillar. So it's unshakable, non-negotiable, and that is the only thing I'm certain of. And I really cherish that and honor that and love that in myself. And I also know that this is not exclusive trait, but I work on seeing that in others and showing that to themselves.
I
I
love
sometimes joke that I would love if, like a hair salon, to have the before and after picture, but it's not possible.
You know what, Sandra? When we do, I teach transcendental rebirthing, and we do that sometimes. That, like, we take a picture before, and on a teaching that I do called Futuring, before and after. You can ask people, could you send just put a picture of you in the groups of your Facebook, like say hi, how are you, and at the end, put another picture of like how was it, and you look at both pictures and it's amazing. But I love that, a hairdresser of the divine, the path of the mystic. Come in and get your soul due. you know, I love that of you. So let's talk. Let's talk. We have a couple of more minutes. I want to talk about this new program. You create the most incredible names of programs. The Seven Mastermind. I love, adore the names of your programs, and they get full immediately. But you are about to launch. If not, is that it's launched already. And when the podcast is out, it's probably going to be out, this program. But it's called Agna, Feminine Self Trust and Confidence Resurrected, Burned Out, Shame, and Frustration. Please tell me about this genius creation of yours. When is it going to be delivered, or how, and why is it important for people to know about this?
It will be in June 2022 now, and I saw it again in my visions. And Agna is actually Serbian word that has the, like, its pair in Sanskrit, and it is about purity and fire. And I really feel that the mixture of the somatics and spiritual and quantum energetics are like this fire that purges what's not serving and not welcomed. And I focus my work on people who did a lot of personal development, a lot of healing, but they have what I call debris. So this is not entirely new concept for them, but they're like things like fine tuning on an instrument that can be done. And that is what Agna and most of my programs are for the veterans ready to dive deeper, because it always gets
Ooh.
better.